This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
The 2023 Nebraska High School Football Playoffs on News Channel Nebraska are presented by Currency, Allo, Midwest Bank, Obermiller Seamless, Woodhouse Auto, and by Liberty First Credit Union.
Welcome to Elkhorn, Nebraska, the site of a Class B quarterfinal clash between Elkhorn North and Scottsbluff on News Channel Nebraska. Brandon Axmit, Andy Klassen with you. It is our second Friday in a row that we are bringing you a high school football playoff doubleheader, and everything gets started right here in Elkhorn, Andy, with a 5-seed versus a 13-seed matchup, East versus West. Again, Scottsbluff traveling nearly 450 miles to get here today, and it's win or go home.
Nothing new for the Bearcats, right? And this isn't your typical 13-seed. I think this is the best 6-win team left in the state right now. They had a little rough patch there, lost 4 in a row, but man, have they really ride the ship as of late.
A victory over York to get here, avenging a loss earlier this season to the Dukes. As for, you look at the Elkhorn North team, their only loss of the season coming to Bennington, and they haven't lost in a while.
No, they haven't, and it really starts up front with these guys. We're going to talk about their offensive and defensive line throughout the game. That's why they're at where they are.
National anthems playing. We'll take a break. Kickoff just around the corner on NCN.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo, high-key internet for a low-key price. Want to know what games we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with the wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
it wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Fisher Roofing and Restoration, serving western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming since 1938. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know what we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
And welcome back. It's time to take a look at our school spotlight, brought to you by Currency as we get ready for this Class B, a quarterfinal match. Elkhorn North, in its 4th year of existence. Elkhorn, a population 6,000 plus in Douglas. Enrollment 741, and an opportunity, Andy, after making their first playoff appearance last year as a program.
Yeah.
They made it to this round. A win in the semifinals would be the farthest Elkhorn North has gone in its young history.
You know, and it's been a lot of fun for us, me personally, being part of this journey of Elkhorn North. Because remember when we did that game 4 years ago in Beatrice, they got a little bit, beaten up, and they gotten better and better every year out, and here they are wearing those really good-looking all-black unis.
Scottsbluff making the trip from the Panhandle. They are used to deep playoff runs. In fact, they've made the state championship game 4 times. Have always come up short, though. So the runner-up in 99, 2000, 2018, and 2019, they are coming off a semifinal appearance last year.
Yeah, they have quite the tradition, kind of a polar opposite, right, of Elkhorn North as far as where they've been. I think they do have 3 state titles under their belt, but you just got to go back to the 60s and maybe a little earlier to dig those up.
We'll take a quick break. Kickoff coming up next as we get a look at Elkhorn North starters. Ferguson leading the way, Tingelhoff, the running back, and 2 D1 threats on the outside, and Chase Lofton. Andy, he has offers from Nebraska, Oklahoma, Iowa State, and others. And also Tommy Mechna, a D1 caliber guy as well.
Yeah, the speed on the perimeter really what differentiates this Elkhorn North offense from others across the metro area.
Someone to keep your eyes on, Sam Thomas, offensively and defensively. He's going to University of Northern Iowa, but Coach Stanley could not speak more highly about him, saying he has turned down offers from bigger schools. He's committed to going to UNI, and he's a rare player and the best lineman he's ever coached.
Well, you want to go to a place where people want you, and I'll tell you what, Northern Iowa is a heck of a really good program, football, basketball, just anything sports related. So you can't fault the young man for wanting to stick to his commitment to Northern Iowa.
Looking at Scottsbluff, Nate Kelly and Sebastian Boyle lead this rushing attack. They're both over 1,000 yards on this season. No secret what they're trying to do behind those big boys up front.
You know, when you told me that the coach listed 2 tight ends and 3 running backs as key players to look out for, I could only think, God bless Scottsbluff football.
And there is their defense, headlined, of course, by Jet Webb's 82 tackles. He's making plays all across the field. We are seconds away from kick. We'll be right back with Elkhorn North and Scottsbluff.
The pregame show is sponsored by Custom Sports. Look great for every game with custom team or business apparel from Custom Sports.
NCM Sports is brought to you by Fisher Roofing and Restoration, serving western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming since 1938. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know what we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
Welcome back. We are officially underway. Scottsbluff kickoff returned to the 24-yard line. We'll get a look at this Bearcat offense first. And Andy, again, no secret. Shotgun, double tight, wing T. They are more than happy with 3 yards a pop, and they are going to look to try to wear down Elkhorn North here today.
And you're going to see a lot of that right off tackle through the A and B gap. Just about every single snap for this offense is, hey, you know what we're doing? We're daring you to stop us.
And we mentioned the fact they defeated York 14-0 last week to get here, avenging a loss. Opening drive of the game against the Dukes, 9+ minutes, 17 plays, setting the tone for what they want to do. And Coach, Hall said, we need to do that here today. We have to keep Elkhorn North's offense off the field because we're not going to be able to out-athlete them. Elkhorn North wins on that occasion.
Yeah, excellent pursuit to the football, but that's where this rushing attack, only getting maybe 2 or 3 yards on first and second down, they're still on schedule as an offense. That's how you string out a drive that lasts 9+ minutes, and that really does take the air out of the sideline to your opposition. You know, that offense just sitting there waiting to take the field.
This is a position that Scottsbluff doesn't prefer to be in. 3rd down and long. And you do have play action. Kelly has a wide open receiver, and it's dropped. Braxton Burford was there and was unable to make the catch. Would have been a first down.
Yeah, he was running free, just had to hurry up the throw a little bit and kind of get a kick out of Alex Uckman there, coming up helping the officials, waving no catch. You got beaten coverage here. You're lucky it was an underthrow, and you're lucky that he dropped the ball. He actually came back and got 2 hands on it. Elkhorn North fortunate to force this 4th down and long.
Well, I'd like to remind you this first quarter is brought to you thanks to John Henry's. Our family serving yours. John Henry's, our first quarter sponsor here on NCN. And it's going to be a 3-and-out for the Bearcats to open this one, and a chance for a return here for Elkhorn North.
Nice move.
It's Jet Tinglehoff, the starting running back, also doing return duties.
You know, he's one of those guys that kind of jumped off the page a couple of seasons ago, right? A lot of these guys are 2- and 3-year starters for this program, and Jet's on the top of the list. They're doing a really nice job getting under that ball, catching it, securing the catch, making a nice move on that return middle.
Tinglehoff just shy of 1,000 yards on the season, 936 to go along with 13 touchdowns. Just weapons across the board for Elkhorn North, a huge reason why they're sitting at 9-1. And there is a swing pass to Tinglehoff, and that's a gain of about 3.
And there you see in Chase Lofton, you know, a guy that has a D1 recruit in his own right, making a really nice block, freeing up Tinglehoff to make a move and get upfield. That was well defended had that block not been laid. Now you're getting a 3-yard, 4-yard gain on first down, keeping that offense right on schedule.
Second down and 7. First pass, and it's complete to Ty Coons. Jace Reynolds making the catch. First down and then some. He's finally brought down near the 23.
Oh, and Ferguson, the quarterback, was right on the money. That's a timing type of a pass, and he had to put it right out in front of Reynolds there. And Reynolds using his hands. That's a really nice bang-bang play for the Elkhorn North Wolves.
Tinglehoff on first down, plenty of room to run. 6-yard gain.
Seeing those little swing passes, those passes to the perimeter, that kind of softened up the interior of that defense. And, boy, you got a really good look at what this offensive line can do, just moving that line of scrimmage forward.
Second down and 5, under 3 minutes to go. There's that swing pass again to Tinglehoff. He gets to the edge and is out inside the 5. An excellent opening drive thus far for the Wolves.
Yeah, it really is, and they're taking advantage of this short field, utilizing the short passes here. And you can see just a little bit of a block. Oh, we do have a flag, but that allows for that speed from Jet Tinglehoff to get to the outside.
And it is against Elkhorn North.
Oh, looks like that block was a little bit too much of a hold on the perimeter.
And Scottsbluff will certainly accept that.
Yeah, and this is one of those cases where, okay, technically it's 1st and goal, but here we are on the 23-yard line. Bringing up 2nd and 5.
Looking like the hold going against Tommy Mechna, the talented receiver for Elkhorn North. 2nd and 18, and Tinglehoff corralled after a very short gain. He had Cord Simons and company on the tackle.
Just fantastic pursuit to the football. 4-man front here from the Bearcats. First guy gets kind of blocked down. Then he had to fill. Those are linebackers, those active linebackers that you talked about in the pregame, did their job. Tackle for loss, bringing up a 3rd and long.
Ferguson with time and overshooting his receiver. There's a flag on the play. He was trying to hit Chase Lofton.
I think they're going to get Sebastian here on the coverage, and I don't think he had to make that contact. The pass was rushed. It was a little high, a little outside. Oh, and you had a middle blitz that got home, and fortunate for Elkhorn North. You got an early flag here that's going to keep this drive going.
And as you mentioned, a tough break for Scottsbluff.
Yeah, so Scottsbluff was on the better end of a holding penalty earlier in this drive, then committed a penalty of their own to prolong the drive, just kind of gave it right back here in the red zone.
So now the officials are talking about if it's a first down or not.
Yeah, they want to get the yardage correct here because you're still going to have is it 3rd and short, or does the penalty yardage give you that automatic first down? This is really good from this crew getting together, talking it over.
And so unlike the NFL and college, it's not necessarily an automatic first on the penalty. And after tacking off the yards, it is a 3rd down and 1.
Boy, how big was that tackle for loss on 2nd down?
And handing it off, and untouched into the end zone goes Jace Reynolds. From 14 yards out, Elkhorn North strikes first.
Yeah, just a fantastic play call there. They knew or had the feeling that the Bearcats were going to get aggressive on defense. They did. Look at everyone crashing in. But the speed from Reynolds, able to turn the corner, take it to the house for the early score.
And the kick is through. So Friday afternoon football on News Channel Nebraska, Class B action, Elkhorn North striking first with the Reynolds touchdown. And it's well worth another look. The Wolves are rolling early. Scottsbluff will try to answer when we return.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Welcome back here to Elkhorn High. Scottsbluff went 3 and out on its first possession. Elkhorn North was able to find the end zone. 14-yard Jace Reynolds touchdown. And the Bearcats can obviously try to do something different than what happened the first time.
And North really showed you there on that opening drive just how dangerous they can be, how versatile they can be. And you really got to credit head coach Sam Stanley getting his playmakers involved early, working the outside, using his running backs, his tight ends, his receivers on the perimeter, and getting creative, a little end around on 3rd and short for that touchdown strike.
Handed off to Boyle. Nothing there.
But this is what football purists like myself, Brandon, what we love about Scottsbluff right here. They're not going to get, outside of themselves. They're not going to, be shaking in their boots. They're going to go right back to that run. They're going to try and wear you down and take over in the 4th quarter. And the only way they're going to have success later in the game is if they stick with this smash mouth game plan that they have built over the decades, not the years, the decades out there in Scottsbluff.
Quarterback keeper for Kelly, and there's a nice run for the youngster right at the sticks.
You know, there's a lot of things to like about Nate Kelly. His awareness, the way he's grown throughout the season. But he's only a sophomore. You got to believe Bearcat fans are really excited about what he's going to bring to the table here, not only right now, but for years to come. And he also has a couple really good offensive weapons that are also sophomores. His tight ends, Lucas Lively and Braxton Buford.
This time a little shovel pass, trying to get to the edge, and good determination there from Riesig. There is also a flag on the near side.
Might be a little bit of a hold, but Riesig was showing you just how difficult he can be to bring down.
6'3", 185.
Now see, right there, you know, I played a lot of tight end, H-back, and offense. If I could keep my hands inside the pads there, I could usually get away with a little bit of a hold there. Good on the officials spotting it right away. But I do empathize with the the edge blockers there.
And again, because of that penalty, the Bearcats find themselves in a spot they don't like to be. First down and 19, Kelly rolling out. Throwing it up there, jump ball, and it's off the fingertips of Buford.
Buford, if he would have just kept running his route, that might have landed right to him. A little bit of an awkward throw here, but he was under pressure, was Kelly. Put it in a spot where his guy can make a play. See how he just kind of stopped and went for the jump ball? You got to continue your route up the field.
Second down and long facing Scottsbluff. You see the shift Boyle to the other side of Kelly. And he'll get the handoff.
Boy, that is well defended. You saw the late shift there, so they got numbers to the bottom of your screen to the left side of that offensive line. Then you saw the quick adjustment from Elkhorn North, bottling that up, not allowing a big gain or even a 4 or 5 yard gain here. Really tough spot here, 3rd and 18 for this Bearcat offense.
Now Kelly again rolling out. Throws it on the run, and it's incomplete. Scottsbluff forced to punt. That was intended for Sebastian Galindo.
Yeah, the one positive you can say here for the passing game of Scottsbluff early on, at least the young quarterback, Nate Kelly's not putting the ball in harm's way. And even on the run, like you saw right there, he's thrown it down the field to where only his guy can make a play. You know, no defenders, you know, can try and reel in an early INT interception here midway through this first quarter.
Low punt, but it gets past Tingelhoff.
That was a fantastic punt, Brandon. Angled it away from Tingelhoff. You saw the return he had last time. Thought, you know what? I'm going to throw a little wrinkle in this kick here. Veer it right, kick it right. And, yeah, Tingelhoff was unable to catch up to it. Got some really nice yardage on the bounce after it hit the turf as well. You like the throwback field here, Brandon? It kind of reminds me of the old Huskers field where you got the dark green, the light green, like the, you know, how they would mow it one way and then went the other way with the rollers. Of course, this is all AstroTurf or whatever it's called.
The aesthetic is nice. I can get behind it. Makes it really easy to tell how many yards were gained
right.
for spotters. Just in 5-yard chunks. As there's that swing pass out to Tingelhoff. Same play as the Wolves started their previous drive, and it's a similar result. Good concentration there from Jet.
Yeah, Jet, he juggled it here just a little bit, was able to reel it in, and Joey Canseco, really nice tackle. Look at that right there, going low, wrapping up the knees. Screaming down from that free safety position.
It's officially a gain of 4. This time, Tingelhoff getting the handoff, trying to get to the edge, and there's another flag.
Yep. Yeah, that was, you could tell just from the snap of the ball that Scottsbluff has done their scouting. Look at the defense flow to the right or left of your screen here. They had that bottled up had it not been for a hold. Really nice job, slow to read, quick to react. And that only comes from, spending some time in the film room, knowing what to expect from an offense.
So both teams with some penalties here early on. We're just past 5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. High school football coverage on NCN presented by Currency, which makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit gocurrency.com.
Okay, well, this is a spot that Scottsbluff had earlier on. They got this offense behind the sticks and bailed them out with a penalty. Will they do the same here?
And they get it to Tingelhoff, who does get the initial yardage back after the penalty. It'll make it about 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Coach Stanley talked about Tingelhoff and his acceleration. You saw it right there. After breaking free of that arm tackle, is able to turn on the jets and get upfield, pick up some big yardage there on 2nd down.
So big 3rd down and long. Ferguson bobbles it, being chased from behind. And the Scottsbluff defense is able to corral him. 4th down upcoming.
Really nice winning the one-on-one matchup, unable to make the tackle in the backfield, but you still had Jace Allen get in the backfield, disrupt that play, didn't allow for anything to develop. Definitely didn't allow for the quarterback, Johnny Ferguson, to try and look somebody up downfield.
So Scottsbluff defense gets off the field. Nate Kelly, the quarterback, back to return. Very nice punt.
Uh-oh, look out.
Kelly bobbles it, and it's recovered at the 7. A huge momentum swing here for Elkhorn North.
Oh, that's just a tough, really tough break for the Bearcats. And you had a late substitution there. Kelly coming in the game. You're going to get a really good look at it here. Kelly was trying to call for a fair catch, waving that left arm clearly above his head, lost his footing at the end there. Oh boy, the Wolves, they're in business through the mistake on special teams.
This is about as bad of a start as you could have hoped for if your Scottsbluff defense is really needing to bow up here. 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
And they just got to stop and forced a punt.
It was Wildcat. Tingelhoff keeps it, and he's tackled right at the 1.
And you notice the quick snap there. Didn't allow for the defense. As soon as they figured out Ferguson wasn't under center or back in that pistol position, you already had the snap and those offensive linemen coming at you. My goodness. What really jumps out at you just looking down on the field, the size of this offensive line. They're athletic, they're big. Oh my goodness.
2nd and goal to go. And Tingelhoff's hit by Simons, and they say he's down, short of the end zone.
Cord Simons, I think, got his knee down on the ground just before he broke the plane. Had to come across the entire line, and I think that's a good call there. You saw the knees go down before I think the ball broke the plane. Not by much.
All right, Scottsbluff defense forcing a 3rd and goal.
And both these offenses are almost exclusive out of the shotgun.
Keeper for Ferguson, and he looks to be in there. He is. Elkhorn North makes it 13-zip.
Looked like Jalen Hurts there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Taking care of business on his own was Ferguson for the short yardage touchdown. Puts him up by 2 scores. And I don't know if the audio came through there, but you had those weren't boos from the crowd. They were doing the wolf howl. Elkhorn North Wolves, for those that don't know.
PAT is through. Elkhorn North taking full advantage of the muffed punt. It's 14-zip here in Elkhorn. You're watching high school playoff football on News Channel Nebraska. Welcome back here to Elkhorn. Scottsbluff receiving. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen with you here on News Channel Nebraska. As the return's out near the 25.
Hauser doing a really nice job coming up, fielding that cleanly, making a little move and bouncing outside. That's a nice return on a kick. Last one sailed into the end zone. Hauser was on top of that one, coming up, making the catch, get some decent yardage on the return.
So the Bearcat offense desperately needs to get going here late in the first quarter. They did get a first down the last time with the ball before being forced to punt.
Yeah, a couple first downs here would really help out that defense, especially after the turnover. They've been out there a long time.
Kelly on the keeper.
See, that's a disciplined approach that all these ball carriers have from the Bearcats. Knew he wasn't going to get to the outside, put his head down, got upfield, picked up the little yardage that he could. And that could loom large. You know, this is an offense predicated on 3rd and short, 3rd and 3. Get those 2, 3, 4 yards on 1st and 2nd down to get you in that position.
And chance here for Boyle to get to the edge, and he lowers the boom as well.
You got to love that. You got to love that if you like running the football. Heavy load up top on the right side of that offensive line, and then they just run it right at you, Brandon. They weren't, trying to misdirect you or, play a trick on the defensive coordinator. They almost showed him their hand and still ran it right where you thought the ball was supposed to go. But these are different formations that you don't typically see each and every Friday.
And Boyle's going to be about 2 yards short of the sticks.
Boy, and I know you're thinking of maybe going for it here, but you got to go ahead and punt this ball away. You're still in this game. You're only 2 scores down, and this is just the end of the first quarter. There's a lot of football to be played yet. I don't like the idea of going for it here on 4th and 2 on your side of the field.
And Elkhorn North taking a timeout here, perhaps wanting to say, hey, be aware of a potential fake.
Well, this is a really good timeout because you're in the driver's seat here, and there's a pretty good stiff wind cutting across your screen here from left to right. So that's going to force this punt to go into the wind. Had you let that run out, they would have got to punt the ball with the wind. That's just really good coaching. Next level stuff here from Sam Stanley, the head coach of Elkhorn North.
You may have seen the Twitter graphic pop up on the screen. That's a reminder to give us a follow at NCN Sports if you haven't yet. Be like the nearly 11,000 who follow us at NCN Sports, where they have access to our broadcast schedule, stories, highlights, interviews of players, coaches, and more, our rankings, all being tweeted out at NCN Sports, where we also have been known, Andy, to give shout-outs during halftime of broadcasts to new followers.
Always love to see the setup, the man cave where people are watching from. And it looks like head coach Judd Hall is going to roll the dice here after the timeout.
Big 4th down and 2. Kelly on the keeper. It's going to be close.
Oh boy, he's right at the line. I'm looking at the line judge. He's coming right down the sticks here. It's going to come down. No, they're not even going to measure it. They're saying well short a half yard. Boy, another momentum shifting play here going the way of the Wolves. Really good penetration by the defensive line, the movement up front. Pretty good stop.
And it was, in fact, the first down, so they didn't measure for the first down. Scottsbluff still with the ball.
So I was looking at the line judge, and he was pointing to the wrong side, and from our angle, the ball did look short by about, a half yard. That's unbelievable. Well, good on Judd Hall then, head coach of the Bearcats, rolling the dice and coming up big there on 4th and short.
So nothing on first down, 2nd and 10. And now the clock has wound down to wrap up the first quarter. 12 minutes in the books. Elkhorn North on the board. 14-zip over Scottsbluff here on News Channel Nebraska. We'll be back.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By USave Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zellner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Friday night afternoon lights here on News Channel Nebraska. You see it, Andy, during the playoffs when you have teams that have to travel long distances. Schools will get together and say, let's do an early kickoff, and that's what we have here, a 4 o'clock Central, as the first play of this second quarter goes to Boyle, who has nowhere to go.
Well, I like our television offense. I am here for it. Love it that we're getting this started a little bit early here, and it also opens the door, the window for us to do a double header at a regular 7 o'clock kickoff on our north feed. So a lot of good things happening here on NCN.
For those unaware, this game is starting off the doubleheader, of course. Our nightcap will be Stanton in Class D1 hosting Arapahoe out in central Nebraska, which is southwest of Kearney. And so that will be our night game with a 7 o'clock kick, as you mentioned. Kelly rolling and just misfiring. We'll bring up 4th down and 10.
And once again, Kelly's, he's pulling the trigger, he's throwing the ball down the field, but he's not putting it in harm's way. I really like the discipline from the sophomore QB for this Bearcat offense. Even when he's not completing the ball, at least he's not churning it over.
And that punt going out near the 45. Officially marked at the 49. So thus far, Elkhorn North has had no issues moving the ball. Scottsbluff, on the other hand, has had a tough time stopping them. Now, Credit the Bearcats. They did force a punt. It was just an unfortunate special teams mishap on the muff that gave the Wolves a very short field to make it 14-0.
And when you're dealing with a uberly talented team like Elkhorn North, you don't need to help those guys out.
Double move on the outside. Mechna the intended target, and Kelly coming over to make the play, but there may be pass interference called on the cornerback. We'll take another look.
It might be the cornerback, not the safety getting in there late, but that was a fantastic job by Kelly coming in late and breaking it up. I just think you have the early contact. Boy, that's not a whole lot there. I think they're getting Sebastian again, Galandino, for running into the receiver.
And it is against Galindo. So another tough break for the Bearcats. That moves the ball now in Scottsbluff territory. Ball on the 36.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of that flag comes from the underthrow, right? Had that been out there in front, the defender would have been able to run full speed trying to catch back up to the play. Tough adjustment as a defensive back to make.
And Ferguson on the read, keeps it, picks up 2.
Really good discipline up front from this Bearcat. You're seeing 3 down linemen right now, but they usually shift down. One of those outside linebackers give you that pseudo look as a defensive end, but they're outsized. Let's not kid ourselves. They're outsized, so they got to be spot on with where they're supposed to be and the technique that they're using. And thus far, they've done a pretty good job holding up.
Option here for Ferguson.
There it is, right there, the nose tackle coming across, able to work between a couple huge, big, hefty offensive linemen, make that tackle in the backfield. That's really T-shape material, Brandon.
And that Shattuck you'll see here, bringing down Ferguson from behind.
I mean, he's given up some serious size, but he was determined to make that play in the backfield.
3rd down and 7. 14-0 your score on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Go green with E15 and fill up at their nearest A-stop today. And Ferguson fakes the reverse, and he's hit. It'll be about a yard short
That
of
is
the
just
sticks.
Fantastic. That's a fantastic play call by the offensive coaching staff here from Coach Stanley, understanding how aggressive Scottsbluff has been, using that aggressive nature against them. Use a little counter quarterback trap back to the right after your defense flows too far to your left.
Well, coverage of today's game is presented by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com, and also Woodhouse. Convenience delivered every time. Woodhouse Auto. 4th down and 1. Elkhorn North looking like they'll go for it, but before they do, Coach Stanley takes a timeout.
4th and short. That's what these big fellas we've been alluding to live for. Sam Huff, big offensive lineman, 190-pounder. Sam Thomas, we talked about, 6'6", 270. His buddy Brock Marner, 6 foot, 255. I mean, it just goes on and on. These guys aren't only big and lengthy, they got some weight to go along with that.
I'd like to take this break to remind you that coverage is also presented by Allo. With Allo, you can rely on honest and hassle-free pricing, ditch unclear terms, hidden fees, and unreliable service. Switch today at allofiber.com. And also, thanks to Midwest Bank, which is always ready to lend a hand in the communities that they serve. Find out more at midwestbank.com.
Tell you what, that fiber is the way to go. Whether, Allo, I mean, you want to up the ante as far as your streaming, your IPTV, you got to go with the fiber.
I know specifically our fans in Scottsbluff enjoying being able to watch, specifically because Allo is out in Scottsbluff, the lone provider carrying them, or carrying us rather, in the Panhandle.
Quite an investment Allo's made across the state. It really is.
So a big 4th down. Design keeper for Ferguson, and he's going to pick up the 1st down and then some, thanks to some shifty movement.
Boy, he was dead to rights a couple of times, as you mentioned. Had to put on a little dead leg move here to get inside. Whoop, hit the brakes, got upfield, picked up the 1st down. And that's what Coach Stanley was talking about. He's a darn good runner. He's currently growing, getting better and better as a passer.
So fresh set of downs for the Wolves. Ball on the 21. Play action, and Ferguson evading multiple rushers. Galindo on the coverage there. That one's close to a big loss.
Once
that
again,
was Trevino who just missed sacking him.
Yep, and Ferguson showing you his athleticism in his way, his ability to elude the rush, and a little bit of lower body strength there, right? Able to keep his feet and work a ball downfield. Nearly picked up a good gain there, but Galindo, as you mentioned, nice breakup.
So first handoff of the game to Alex Uchman. Ball popped out, but he was down. Third down and long upcoming.
Once again, it was like Scottsbluff was in the offensive huddle there, loaded up on the right side, bottom of your screen. That's where the ball went. There was nowhere to go. No gain, going to bring up a 3rd and 10, as you mentioned. But this is where Elkhorn North's like, oh, you're going to overplay it? We're going to do a little reverse. We're going to do a counter. Let's see if they go back to the well here on 3rd and long with a little misdirection.
They've caught the Bearcats a couple times. Play action here. And Tingelhoff is wide open and is just short of the end zone, but it's a 20-yard pickup on 3rd and long.
Speaking of misdirection, you bootleg, you fake it left, then you pass it back left. That is brutal and a perfect play call at the perfect spot.
The Wolves with an answer for everything the Scottsbluff defense has thrown at it. 7.5 to play here in quarter number 2.
Bunch formation, 1st and goal, ball on the 1-yard line here.
And Tingelhoff hit in the backfield. He'll go down for a 3-yard loss.
So this is where all those, those old guys are going to tell you, hey, 4th and 1, short yardage, get under center. Don't allow for that penetration to catch us in the backfield 3-4 yards behind the line. And here we go. Loss of 2, 3 yards on 1st down. Elkhorn North might have to get creative to punch their 3rd touchdown in here.
Designed keeper for Ferguson, who tries to get to the edge. Cuts it up. 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and goal to go from the 2.
I believe that was Frankie Trevino. Maybe didn't make the tackle, but got outside, played with great leverage, forced Ferguson, Johnny Ferguson, the quarterback in the middle of your screen there, to cut it back into the teeth of that Bearcat defense. Once again, short gain, bringing up a 3rd and goal here. You're still in business if you're the Bearcats, if you can keep them out of the end zone and force a field goal attempt.
Tingelhoff in the Wildcat. He takes the snap, keeps it himself, and he's in there. 2-yard touchdown for Tingelhoff.
Yeah, just so many things to guard against there. When they get into that Wildcat formation, and you had the late collision, but it was just a little too late at the line of scrimmage. Once again, Jet Tingelhoff showing you the afterburners getting into the end zone. Kick is true.
21-0 Elkhorn North halfway through this 2nd quarter. You're watching high school playoff football on News Channel Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Welcome back to Elkhorn, Nebraska. Beautiful afternoon, 60 degrees at kickoff. And it's been all Elkhorn North currently. Brandon Axelman, Andy Klassen with you. This is game one of our high school football playoff doubleheader on News Channel Nebraska. Stanton and Arapahoe will be on later tonight. That kick returned by George Schmall to about the 35-yard line.
Schmall fielded that cleanly. It looked like a shortstop out there. Came up on it, picked it right up off the turf. Got a little return there. I feel like Elkhorn North was trying to maybe trick him a little bit with a squib kick. Good on the Bearcats special teams unit being ready for it.
This drive starts at the 35. And again, Scottsbluff, up to this point, has not been able to get much going offensively. Shovel pass. And here's a chance. Biggest play of the day for the Bearcats comes courtesy of Dawson Barrett.
Dawson Barrett on the toss play there. Got the block, just enough of a block that he needed. Then you saw the power and determination, breaks a tackle, gets the sideline. Let's see if that play kind of kickstarts this offense. Plenty of time here to put together a drive. You mentioned that 9-minute, 10-minute drive. They started last week's playoff game. Well, they're already on their side of the field here, so should be enough to work one in.
18-yard gain. There's 2 yards right up the middle.
See, and this is where Scottsbluff's at their best. Okay, so they gash you on the outside, then they're going to go right up the gut, right back at you. Not let you forget that they're always going to test the A and B gap.
Boyle comes into this game about 165 yards shy of becoming Class B's all-time career leading rusher. So far, he has been held in check. There's Kelly with about 5.
Just feels like every 2 or 3 years, Scottsbluff has a running back that's vying for an all-time leading rusher in Class B. That's just the type of program, the tradition that they've built over the years.
3rd down and 4 as we're under 5 minutes to go before halftime. Same play to Dawson. He's forced to cut it up and not much. 1 yard. Brings up 4th down rather.
Yeah, good on Elkhorn North there on the perimeter, the point of attack, playing with leverage. Multiple guys playing with that right shoulder free. Wasn't going to let him find that sideline again.
And Scottsbluff, no hesitation going for it here. And Kelly. Looks like he'll be short. This Elkhorn North defense, so stout.
Just too much penetration up front. The big fellows are out there celebrating. They should be. Ben Magnagral, Hefty Jr. got upfield there. And a host of other black jerseys disrupting that quarterback keeper.
Elkhorn North takes over. Ball on the 39.
Ball's out.
And
Ball's
ball
out.
Pops out. Scottsbluff says they have it, and they do.
Wow. What a huge play. First turnover, not on special teams. Goes away to the Bearcats. Offense has new life.
Alex Utschman with the fumble. You see it pop out there, and that could be exactly what the doctor ordered for the Bearcats.
Gang tackle there. Multiple guys to the ball, led by Cord. Simons crashing down, the 6-foot senior making a play here. You know, as we're winding down this first quarter, this could be a big one.
Feel like if you're Scottsbluff, you have to take advantage, need to get points on this drive from this gift. Kelly keeping it. He'll get 3.
Really good vision there. Thinking on his feet, cutting it back, picking up just not a lot, but a little bit of yardage. Once again, keeping this offense on schedule. And you're exactly right. Elkhorn North took advantage of your turnover, made you pay for it. Return the favor here with just over 3 minutes to go in the first half. So easy to say that, isn't it? It sounds good.
And just run it down the field against all those 260, 270 linemen. Well, Scottsbluff going to the air. And pass is well high and out of bounds. 3rd down upcoming.
Had that been a little closer to the receiver, you would have had a chance for maybe a PI, a pass interference, had he not been able to reel that one in. But that was way high and out of bounds to where you couldn't even warrant a flag being thrown.
Three minutes to go. 3rd down and 8. 2 down territory if you're the Bearcats. There's that shovel pass. Not much for Galindo. Maybe a yard.
Once again, great discipline on the edge from the Wolves. You know, that little toss, that jet sweep look, that's really difficult to defend, especially when you have all those athletic offensive linemen pulling. And that's one of their staple type of plays there. Well defended by Elkhorn North. 4th and 7. Gotta have it. Gotta have it if you're the Bearcats.
Jailbreak screen to Boyle. And Boyle has the first down, pushed out near the 25.
Well, we saw it a couple of times from Elkhorn North's offensive unit, using that aggressive nature against the Bearcats there. Scottsbluff, you see the blitz was on, right up the middle, little dump pass on the screen, good for the 7 yards, and more offense stays on the field for Scottsbluff.
13-yard gain and a big one on 4th down.
That's what that screen pass was invented for. Catching a defense in a blitz on a 4th or 3rd down.
And there's Kelly for 2.
Typical 2-3 yard play on 1st down. Whether there's under 2 minutes to go or it's the start of a quarter, that's what Scottsbluff's going to give you.
And room up the middle for Boyle. 3rd down and short here. Reminder to stay tuned for our halftime highlights. Brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. At Sartor Heyman, they'll help make your jewelry dreams come true. Check them out in Lincoln and Grand Island.
All right, so we have a timeout from Judd Hall of Scottsbluff, conserving some clock here. Wants to talk things over on 3rd and 3, and you got to believe he's thinking of the next 2 plays. His 3rd down and 4th down if they don't convert it.
Just under 90 to go.
A little bit of a tricky spot here, right? Because you got to have that second play up your sleeve. But if you get a 1st down, obviously it's going to be a completely different play call from a 1st down scenario if you do pick it up here on 3rd and 3. So A lot of different scenarios being talked about in that Scottsbluff huddle.
So coming out of the timeout, here we go. 3rd down and 3. Scottsbluff looking to get on the board here before halftime. Kelly hit hard. That's Nathan Kundra.
I think he picked it up, though. I think when he put that right, yes, he did. That's a hard-nosed run, understanding where the stick's right. But he planted that right foot, got upfield in that tackle. Yes, it hurt. He drove him into the ground, but the momentum took him beyond the pylon for that 1st down.
Ball on the 17. Kelly looking to pass, and nearly picked by Tingelhoff.
Oh, Tingelhoff was right there. The late break on the ball. Tell you what, Bearcats got away with one right there. Nate Kelly did put the ball in harm's way on that one. But I like the play call. Move in the pocket, allowing Kelly to get away from that initial pass rush on the bootleg and try and get one into the end zone. Just try to force that one a little too much.
Again, they try that play to Barrett, who does get to the edge, but flag has come out.
Multiple flags here, so one was really late from the umpire. We might have some offsetting penalties here. Official's going to have to talk this one over.
For sure, one of them we're assuming is a hold.
Yeah.
Against Boyle, it looks like.
And once again, you got those hands inside, Brandon, and you're moving with that defender. Sometimes you get away with that light hold. And I'm not saying he's not holding. I'm just telling you when you're...
The tricks of the trade.
Right. When you get up into a guy like that, you know, and both sides do it. If you're a defender and a guy's trying to break free and you have him locked up until those arms come out and you see a jersey getting pulled away from the pads, there we go. The offsetting penalties.
And so it'll basically be a redo.
Just under a minute to go here. I think if you're a Bearcat fan, you feel like you might have got away with one there.
And Boyle gets a couple. He was met initially by Sam Huff.
Yeah, Sam Huff. He's a two-way starter, offensive and defensive line, 190 pounds, 6'5". He's only a junior.
Under a minute to go. A reminder, shout-outs live on the air are in your future if you follow us at NCN Sports on Twitter. We promise you won't regret it. We let you know from our team of statewide reporters all the latest high school sports news with interviews, highlights, rankings, and yes, we tweet out our broadcast schedule every week announcing which games we cover. Give us a follow at NCN Sports, and we'll give you a shout-out live on the air. And yes, Andy, you mentioned pictures of the man cave.
Yes.
Where you're watching, how you're watching, who you're cheering for. Let us know all that info.
I always like to use that as a little ammunition with the wife saying, hey, see, we could use another TV down here, or see what this guy has.
Can never have too many TVs.
Something to think about, something to think about.
Big 3rd down and 7.
Been using this set quite a bit. Bunch formation to the right, 2 receivers to the top of your screen.
Kelly keeps it. He's tackled. Gain of 3.
That's a heck of a close there from that middle linebacker coming across there, because it looked like Kelly was going to have some room to run, but that was Chase Reynolds once again making the play. And you see how the defenders had to honor the pass there, so it kind of kept them on their heels a little bit. And excuse me, that was number 35, Chris Thiessen, that came screaming in linebacker spot.
So Scottsbluff sort of playing both sides here. They're winding the clock down. I don't know, maybe they're going to wind it down and kick a field goal.
Or they're going to call time. It's 4th and 5, so I'm thinking they're going to do something like that bootleg we saw a moment ago where you're going to roll Kelly right. He has that entire field to work with. Buy himself some time and let some receivers get down in the end zone, try and find some space.
Yeah, so they aren't at all thinking pick up the first and sustain the drive. They're thinking, one play here.
Yep. And the kicker has taken the field, so they might try a field goal here as time runs out.
Well, they have a very capable kicker.
And this isn't a bad idea here. Go ahead and take your points. End this last drive of the first half on a positive note, getting some points put up on the board.
And so they're going for 3.
Well, they're lined up for 3 anyway.
.29-yard attempt. It's good. Talon McDonald puts Scottsbluff on the board as we head into halftime. So 21-3 your score here in Elkhorn. The Wolves with the 18-point advantage as we head to break. Stay with us. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska, our halftime show. Coming up next.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Fisher Roofing and Restoration, serving western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming since 1938. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know what we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
To sum up the past 20 years in one word, exceptional. It's one of our core values. But our people have been truly exceptional. Our customer support has been exceptional. In 20 years, where will Allo be? When we started, we were just a business fiber company. Then the demand came from residential. Now the products of both business and residential just continue to expand. We've got to start with customers' needs and always work backwards. The customers will tell us, and our teammates will take us there.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. We have wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo, high-key internet for a low-key price. Want to know what games we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
It's the season. The excitement of going to sporting events, sitting in the bleachers, rooting for the neighbor kid that mowed your lawn, delivered papers, or played a few pranks in the neighborhood. The first stop, of course, though, is your local Speedy Mart convenience store. Fuel for the journey. Speedy Mart, your area store with Nebraska roots and community ties. No matter if it's a win or a loss, Speedy Mart can make you feel better before or after the game.
The air inside your home can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outside air. John Henry's priority is keeping your home safe and healthy for you and your family. Cleaning your home's air duct system is an important part of that goal. Our service professionals will clean your air ducts using top-of-the-line equipment that pulls air in reverse through the duct system, while using compressed air and agitation tools to remove unwanted particles. Once the air is discharged, it runs through 3 stages of filtration, leaving your air duct system restored and functioning cleaner than ever. Contact John Henry's today and schedule your steps to a healthier home.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams. Financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By You Save Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zellner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
It's 2023. Bad internet shouldn't be a thing. FYI, coax and satellite internet are vintage. Stop settling for lagging, buffering, and freezing. Switch to Allo Fiber and enjoy speeds up to 1 gig across multiple devices, 24/7 local customer support, no data caps. Fiber your internet with Allo. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with the wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
And welcome back here to Elkhorn High. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen with you on News Channel Nebraska. Game 1 of our Friday high school football playoff doubleheader. Again, another programming note. Game number 2 tonight will be Arapahoe taking on Stanton in northeast Nebraska. If you live in the northeast Nebraska part of the state, we will be taking you straight from this game to the live coverage of that game starting at 5:45 Central. If you're not in the northeast Nebraska portion, or DMA as they call it, Andy, of the state, you'll stay here until this game ends, and then we'll take that game network-wide as well. But glad that you're with us. It's 21-3. Elkhorn North leading Scottsbluff. Andy, if you're the Bearcats, you do have that positive momentum of kicking that field goal right before half. You have the tough test also, though, of stopping Elkhorn North, who does get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, and they're just a machine up front, both on the offensive and defensive lines. We've seen that their size, their athleticism has really loomed large throughout this game. But if you're Scottsbluff, you have a couple things to take away from that first half that you can feel good about. This game would be a lot tighter had you not had that, kind of a mess up there in special teams. That just kind of handed them a touchdown. You've seen some success on your offense, getting to the perimeter at times, being able to outpace some of those big bodies in the middle. You also have to really feel good that your defense bowed up, not only got a stop to close out that first half, but churned over the Wolves, giving your offense that opportunity to put that late field goal up on the board. And then your offense coming through and getting those key 3 points as time expired. So there's some really good things for this Scottsbluff team to build on. But like we mentioned in the first half, much easier said than done when you're playing a team like Elkhorn North.
Well, let's take a look at our halftime highlights, brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island location. This is how scoring started things off. Jace Reynolds, a 14-yard touchdown on the Wolves' opening drive. And this really, really hurt the Bearcats. Your defense forces a punt, and unfortunately it's muffed, and the Wolves recover, and they are in business. And we're able to easily take advantage with a 1-yard punch-in by Johnny Ferguson.
Yeah, and it shows you how big turnovers really are. Both coaching staffs talked to us about winning the turnover battle before this game here.
So that made it 14-0, which was your score heading into the second quarter. And in the second, you have Jet Tingelhoff, 2-yard touchdown run, making it 21-zip. There was a bright spot for the Scottsbluff defense, though, forcing the turnover late in the second, and that would turn into points for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Bearcats defense has had really good pursuit to the ball throughout, and you saw right there an early strip, multiple defenders there to scoop it up.
And Talon McDonald, as you see there, the 29-yard field goal, making it 21-3. We're about 7 minutes remaining before third quarter action. Stay with us on News Channel Nebraska. We'll be back.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Fisher Roofing and Restoration, serving western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming since 1938. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know what we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
We do have a makerspace. We have dedicated spaces for different groups. So what we're looking at in this room is the adult meeting room. It's not technically a room that closes, has a two-sided fireplace. It's designated as the only room where things need to be a little bit on the quiet side. We have a dedicated teen room and teen study room. And we also have the kinetic technology room, which is also known as a makerspace. We have meeting rooms, different varying sizes, and those turned out to be very popular. With the gig economy, people coming in and work, everything is high-tech. All the rooms have the latest technology to do Zoom calls and things like that.
Thank you for joining us on this installment of Do You Know Nebraska, which was made possible by Crete Area Medical Center, Colgan of Crete, Crete Ace Hardware, and Ken's U-Safe Pharmacy in Crete.
Join us next time as we explore the state we call home. Do You Know Nebraska can be viewed by visiting newschannelnebraska.com.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
And welcome back. Here we're getting closer to third quarter action. Now is a great time to remind all parents of high school seniors, or perhaps high school seniors yourself, that there is a great opportunity out there for you by the way of the United Healthcare Future of Nebraska Scholarship. And what is this, Andy? Well, it's 5 separate $5,000 scholarships that will be awarded. The final deadline to apply is December 1st, and this scholarship isn't based on grade point average or SAT scores, but they are looking for those who demonstrate leadership and create positive impacts in their schools and community through volunteer efforts, philanthropy, leadership, extracurricular activities, and more. So if you want to apply, go to newschannelnebraska.com, and again, the deadline is December 1st, and this is the United Healthcare Future of Nebraska Scholarship.
Yeah, if you can make an impact on your community, your high school, you might as well apply for this scholarship because you'll definitely be in the runnings.
5 scholarships, $5,000 apiece. Well, we promised we would give shout-outs to those who followed us on Twitter at NCN Sports. If you haven't yet, you still have the opportunity to do so. But let's see here who's giving us a follow and who's sending pictures of their man cave. Kermit 0005. His picture of a man cave is from behind one of our cameras. So
good view.
Kermit, you're crazy. That would be Hunter giving us a follow. Very nice pictures, though, from the field, who is getting us great low camera shots. Also, Luke Vi giving us a follow at NCN Sports. We appreciate the follow from Luke. And Trish Hines following us at NCN Sports. So just going down the list of those who are following us, we're getting closer to 11,000 followers at NCN Sports, and we provide rankings, highlights, interviews, scores, our broadcast schedule, and more. Also, Seth Miller and Arapahoe Hallbrook Public Schools. So they're following us, which makes sense because we'll be televising their game later tonight. All giving us follows.
Let's go.
Thank you for the follows. And again, we are about 2.5 minutes from kick, but we want to keep letting all of our viewers know of our programming. Note, this is a doubleheader Friday night football playoffs. If you live in Northeast Nebraska, we will be taking you straight to the Arapahoe-Stanton game starting at 5:45 Central for all of the pregame. If you don't live in the Northeast Nebraska DMA, we'll stay here until this game concludes, and then you'll go to see the Arapahoe-Stanton game. So with that, we'll take one more break, come back, and get ready for third quarter action here in Elkhorn.
Get rewarded and earn interest for using your My Design Rewards checking account with Midwest Bank. I'm volleyball player Allie Badenhorst, and I get rewarded when I use my debit card grabbing a bite to eat or getting coffee before class. It's easy, simple, and smart. It's not about how much money I have in my account. I get rewarded just for using my debit card at all my favorite places. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo, high-key internet for a low-key price. Want to know what games we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more. gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with the wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
Welcome back here to Elkhorn High School. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen, Class B quarterfinal. Number 5 seed, Elkhorn North leading 13th seed. Scottsbluff 21-3. And a very big opening drive coming up, Andy. You have to think, if the Wolves do what they've done for the majority of the first half, which is drive it down in the field and score, it's going to make things very difficult for Scottsbluff. But if the Bearcats get that stop, you start maybe believing a little bit more, especially if you can punch it in on the other end.
And after kicking it through the end zone there and getting the touchback, you can bend but don't break. You can give up a couple first downs but still get that stop. And that's how key it was going back to the end of the first half, to get that late score, knowing that you'd be kicking the ball back to Elkhorn North.
And so on the Wildcat, Tingelhoff
Well
tackled
defended.
for no gain.
Webb came crashing down. They've used that Wildcat look a couple of times. Had some pretty good success with it in the first half. Looks like the Bearcats made the adjustment.
Second down and 10. And there's that misdirection, and right up the middle, first down. That's Chris Tyson.
And that's tough for a defensive back to come up and make that tackle. Really nice looking tackle, but after a big gain for this Wolf offense. And the counter, the late motion took everyone's eyes to the right. And here comes Elkhorn North cutting it left.
First and 10, ball now on the 32. Simon's coming right through the middle. Tingelhoff getting away from him, but stuck for a very short gain.
Boy, and that's really good pursuit to the football. He had Cord Simons kind of undercut the block there, not quick enough to make the play, but that disrupted the flow of the offensive line getting out there in front. Then he had the excellent fill, as we've been talking about, from this Bearcat defense. A lot of white helmets staying active, rallying to the football, bringing up a 2nd and 8.
That tackle made by Chance Hauser. Reminder that high school playoff football on News Channel Nebraska is presented by Currency, as well as Midwest Bank. 2 minutes into this third quarter. Ferguson to the air. And that's the first reception of the game for Lofton. Not much there.
Yeah, much like how head coach Sam Stanley for Elkhorn North started the very first drive of the game, getting multiple offensive weapons involved in this first drive. Chase Lofton, they're, another one of these D1 type talented guys, getting his hands on the ball on 2nd down.
Again, the Huskers have offered Lofton, Oklahoma, Iowa State, many others. Just a junior, so he's playing things out, hasn't committed anywhere yet. A rare misfire, though, from Ferguson, and Scottsbluff has forced a punt here for the Wolves to start this third quarter.
So there you go. Give up a little bit of yardage there on a misdirection counter style of play. Gave up the first down, bend, but didn't break. Ended up making a nice stop there on third down through the air. They're not even going a single guy back to return here.
High hanging punt. Down to near the 33.
Pretty good field position here for this Bearcat offense to start with.
So a real opportunity here. You haven't really been able to assert yourselves with your offense up to this point. But now would be an amazing time for that to happen. And again, we keep saying easier said than done.
Yeah.
But Scottsbluff really has an opportunity here.
Well, Elkhorn North is doing a phenomenal job taking away their first option, their power rushing attack. There you see it, getting bottled up after a short, very short gain. What this Wolf defense is going to do is force Scottsbluff out of their comfort zone. They're going to have to pass the ball, which is something they don't necessarily like to do. You also have Nate Kelly, only a sophomore there at quarterback. He's got to do a lot of growing up here and kind of evolve as a quarterback and really threaten this defense with some vertical style routes to get back into this one.
And there's that little shovel pass. Reisig does get to the edge. It'll set up 3rd and short.
Excellent blocking. The top of your screen, multiple white jerseys getting out in front. Once again, playing with leverage. Just kind of a slow developing play. You think you got it. You think you got it. No, Reising's cutting up field. Going to bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2.
And that'll be a first down. Boyle picks up 3.
Pass be darned, right? We're going to run the ball. We're going to run it right at you if we're Scottsbluff. Love the determination. And you see how they're able to get you outside, then just pound it right back up the middle. Kind of a calling card. Staples, a lot of staples of this offense here early on in the second half.
The Bearcats nearing midfield here, opening drive for Scottsbluff in this second half. Kelly back to throw. He has Reisig, and it's off his fingertips.
Oh, it was there, and Reising wants that one back. Oh my goodness, right off the hands in stride. I don't know if Kelly could have put in a better spot here. Led him to the ball. Oh my goodness. And there's that vertical passing that we're talking about.
Tough break for the Bearcats. 2nd and 10 following the incompletion.
Passing on first down completely caught Elkhorn North off guard.
And it's back to Boyle, and he has enough for the first down. Nothing hurt as far as being on schedule. That's a 13-yard pickup.
Boyle keeping his feet through contact. You know, they got him listed at 5'11". That's a short 5'11", but you can't take away from his 215-pound frame. Keeping upright and getting upfield.
And Galindo gets the shovel pass, and he bounces off the first tackle and gets 8 yards of his own.
Look out. You got to wrap up. If you're going to play Scottsbluff, you know, you got to have to strap up your chin strap and use both those buttons because they're coming to hit you and hit you hard at the point of attack. And these running backs, I don't care how big, how tall they are, they're tough to bring down.
That's 5'6", 145, bouncing off 6'1", 170 there. 2nd down and 2. Back to Boyle. And this Scottsbluff offense is churning.
Excellent block downfield, Brandon.
Boyle inside the 5.
And you didn't see any jerseys getting pulled or anything like that. Just playing with great leverage. Once again, Boyle moving, using his blocks. Patient runner. And I tell you what, when you have that confidence to go ahead and break a tackle like that, yes, you can run patiently behind your blocks, allow for those downfield blocks to develop like you saw right there.
Biggest run of the day for the Bearcats, 33 yards. It's now 1st and goal. Kelly lowers his shoulder, and he's in there.
Lost the ball, but the ball broke the plane before the fumble. Statement type of drive there from the Bearcats, doing it their way, the ground and pound way, all the way to the end zone.
And this third quarter could not have started any better from a Bearcats perspective. You force the punt, and then you take it down the field and score on offense.
How about the fortitude and the mental toughness? You know, you felt like you let one slip there, missing your big break play, but coming right back, leaning on the rushing attack, and putting one in the end zone.
It's an 11-point game here in Elkhorn. Scottsbluff has scored 10 straight, 21-10. We'll be back.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
it wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or was it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
Welcome back. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen with you. Scottsbluff has scored the last 10 points, making things interesting here now that we're midway through the third.
Uh-oh, onside kick, Brandon. Oh, well defended from Elkhorn North. I believe that was Ty Kuntz there on the hands team getting down on it. Always helps when you have a senior tight end on the front line there.
Head coach Judd Hall saying, let's go for it.
Hey, he's been kind of firing from the hip all game long. We saw him go for it on 4th and 3 early in this one on his side of the field. My conservative nature, I was thinking, I want to punt this one. No, the Bearcats go for it and get it.
And Tingelhoff trying to stretch the field, and this Scottsbluff defense.
Oh, you're going to get a late hit, tackle to the ground there. Plenty of time for the youngster from Scottsbluff to lay up. I think they're going to get Reyes Morales here with a late hit out of bounds. Boy, and this defense, look how relentless it is, just stringing that out. Boy, that's some penalty yardage you didn't have to give up.
Now, it would have been about 2nd and 9. Instead, you give Elkhorn North 15 and a new first down to work with.
You know, and this kind of reminds me of that muffed punt earlier. Okay, so break didn't go your way. You rolled the dice. You went for an onsider. Didn't go your way. You follow that up with a 15-yard penalty. That's back-to-back really negative plays here for Scottsbluff.
That puts the ball on the Scottsbluff 36. And Ferguson going to Lofton. Is he in?
Think he got that foot in. Nope.
Incomplete is the call. Here's another look.
Fans can't believe it.
Oh, yeah. Foot came down out of bounds.
Great job by Sebastian Gandino catching back up, shoving him out of bounds while he was in the air. You clearly saw that right foot come down on the white chalk.
You see Lofton may have come down hard. He's staying on the sideline. Second down and 10 here. Tingelhoff motioning to the backfield, and it's a keeper for Ferguson. So set up third and about 2.
And that was the design quarterback run, sold perfectly by Ferguson. The way he flipped his hips, looked right, got the defense leaning right. Quick hitter right up the middle.
We have a Bearcat down.
Both teams heading to the sideline to huddle up here.
Believe that's Reyes Morales. So we'll take a quick break here. 5:53 remaining in quarter number 3. Elkhorn North up 21-10.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Fisher Roofing and Restoration, serving western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming since 1938. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know what we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitor Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
So you see Reyes Morales being able to walk off the field here after being tended to by training staff. A third down and 2 now upcoming for the Wolves. Tingelhoff alongside Ferguson, and Ferguson will keep it. And he is stood up, and well, the spot has him right about at the first down marker. Looked like he would be short initially.
That initial surge might have been enough to get him there. It's going to bring up a 4th and short. And we've seen this Bearcat defense come up big on 4th down before. It's kind of how they've been living. Live to play one more down.
Well, they do say it was actually enough for a first.
So line judges get together. The one closest to the ball carrier did say it was enough.
Nearing the 5-minute mark here in quarter number 3, and we have a pre-snap whistle. Well, a reminder that high school sports on NCN is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency's here to help. Also, Allo, a presenting sponsor. With Allo, you can rely on honest and hassle-free pricing. Switch today by going to allofiber.com.
Unforced error here from Elkhorn North. Going to back them up 5 yards. Going to bring up 1st and 15.
Tingelhoff.
What a move.
He gets those penalty yards back. 5-yard pickup.
I mean, a typical back might have got tackled there for a 3-4 yard loss. He's able to sidestep that, all the while keeping his forward motion, that momentum going. Look at that little cut right there. Another one. That's a special type of running back.
Today's coverage is also presented by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com. And also presented by Woodhouse Auto, convenience delivered every time. Ferguson has his receiver, and Lofton is more than okay. He catches it for a 26-yard touchdown.
You felt like it had to happen sooner or later. Playmakers, Brandon, they make plays. Lofton gets behind the defense once again. Ball has enough on it, makes the adjustment, but goes back, high points it, backpedals into the end zone.
It's Lofton's 6th touchdown of the season.
Showcasing you his talent and his size, all kind of wrapped up in a big-time play there, back of the end zone.
So the Wolves strike back The lead is 18, and they do it through the air. Ferguson with his second touchdown of the game. This time it's through the air to his favorite target, Chase Lofton. 28-10 your score here in Elkhorn. And welcome back. Low kick fielded by Schmall.
Look out.
And he goes right up the gut. Scottsbluff will start on the 42-yard line.
Just love how assignment sound Scottsbluff is. Right there, Schmall, a guy that doesn't always return a lot of kicks, gets a hold of one, a line driver, and doesn't even hesitate. Just gets the yardage that's available to him. Doesn't try to do too much with it, break an extra tackle, maybe fumble the ball away. No. Just gets upfield, gets his offense in a really nice spot here at the 41-yard line.
So Scottsbluff had scored 10 straight before that touchdown from Ferguson to Lofton. And they'll pass it on first down. Catch is made. Buford got a 7-yard gain.
You got to admire the adjustments being made by Judd Hall, head coach of Scottsbluff, and his offensive staff, understanding they got some ground to make up here. So we got to get out of our comfort zone. We got to pass the ball on first down, and that's a really nice job on a crossing route. Ball delivered from the sophomore QB, Nate Kelly, to another sophomore, Braxton Buford, who we talked about earlier.
We do have a flag. It's a good time now to remind our statewide audience we're about 5 minutes away from the second game of our doubleheader in Stanton. Stanton is hosting Arapahoe. If you live in the northeast portion of the state, we will be taking you there live for the pregame in about 5 minutes at 5:45. You don't need to do anything. You'll be watching this game, and then it will just switch over to the Stanton game. If you don't live in northeast Nebraska, we will stay with this game until it ends, and then after the conclusion of our coverage here, you will then also be seeing Arapahoe against Stanton, which is the second game of our football playoff doubleheader. Nate Kelly gets to the edge, is ushered out of bounds, but picks up the first down.
Oh, and Scottsbluff fans wanted the late hit out of bounds, saying, hey, we got one of those called on us earlier. Can we get one back here? We're going to get a look at it here. That was a pretty clean play. The blow was delivered well in bounds. Good play from Kundra, tracking that one down.
Another shovel pass. Reisig this time, no gain.
Yeah, a little bit of a counter look there. You had the misdirection from Nate Kelly trying to take a linebacker or two with him. But that defensive line and those linebackers reading their keys, looking at the offensive lineman, taking them right to the play. They were leaning left, so that's where the defense went. Bottled it up, no gain on that first down.
And give it to Boyle.
That's a heck of a good run. I mean, he was supposed to take that off tackle right up front there. Once again, patient run. It wasn't there. Bounced it out just a little bit. Found some space. Look at that. Put on the brakes. And gets upfield. Tell you what, it's only a couple of yards, but those yards really start to add up for you.
That was a gain of 4. Third down facing the Bearcats. And a keeper for Kelly. He picks up 3, but it'll be a 4th down.
It looked wide open initially, but then you kind of saw the athleticism, the speed from Elkhorn North and that defense reacting to it. Limits the yardage off the misdirection. Set up well, executed well from the Bearcat offense. Just Elkhorn North was up to the task.
Well, coverage today is presented by Midwest Bank, which can make your personal and business banking easier with mobile banking. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Big fourth down for Scottsbluff here. Nearing the minute mark in the third quarter. And Kelly will go to the air. And it is off the mark. Turnover on downs.
A little bit of a misfire there. You did have some separation between receivers and defenders down the field. It's kind of an overthrow to the bottom of your screen.
He had good protection.
Yeah, it really did. Elkhorn North was in a kind of a max coverage, but he was still able to look up the one-on-one with the vertical route all by itself on an island there. Just kind of a misfire from Kelly.
And so it's the Wildcat. Tingelhoff keeps it not much there.
Okay, so the backside defenders came up and made the tackle. No surprise Cord Simons was in on that tackle, but give a lot of credit to the defenders at the bottom of your screen, bottling that up, forcing the ball carrier to cut back inside to that defense. We've seen that a couple of times now. Elkhorn North, they really test the edges. Good on this Bearcat defense, answering the bell time and time again.
Again, for our viewers in Northeast Nebraska, we're 2 minutes away from taking you live to Stanton for the second game of our high school football playoff doubleheader. As here's a little reverse there for Reynolds. But again, as we conclude this third quarter, our Northeast Nebraska viewers will very soon be sent straight to Stanton for Stanton against Arapahoe in a D1 showdown quarterfinal playoff game. The rest of the state will remain here with this game until the game concludes, and then you'll also be seeing Arapahoe Stanton. That takes us to the end of this third quarter. Elkhorn North is leading 28-10 here in the Class B playoffs. Stay with us on News Channel Nebraska. Fourth quarter coming up, or Stanton versus Arapahoe coming up on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By USAVE Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zellner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Welcome back to Elkhorn. The Wolves of Elkhorn North leading by 18 and have a 3rd and 6 to start this fourth quarter. Brandon Axmit, Andy Klassen with you for this high school football playoff doubleheader. Glad that you're with us. Low snap, and Tingelhoff uncovered out of the backfield. That's a first down.
What a fantastic play design once again from head coach Sam Stanley and his offensive staff here for Elkhorn North. And that had a little bit of a timing element to it. You had to sell that pass to the right, a little bit of a screen look, then bring it over to the left. Ferguson doing just a fabulous job selling it, keeping his eyes to his right, and then at the last second dumping it over top to the left to Tingelhoff.
So time not on the Bearcat side. Down 18. You're going to need a stop, need it quickly as you have Ferguson rolling out here. Flag coming in on the near sideline as Ferguson will take this to the end zone, but will it stand? It appears not.
It does feel like there might be a hold out on the edge there. And Ferguson saying, you got to be kidding me, Stripes.
49-yard touchdown negated.
Well, I've been there. Once again, well executed except for this hold on the edge. Look at his eyes staying downfield. That allows, that holds those linebackers there, Brandon, so they can't just come screaming up to make the tackle. Then before you know it, Ferguson's on top of you or blowing by you down the sideline. But there was a little help there with the hold, so it's going to come back, bring up a 1st and 12.
Well, this fourth quarter is brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more by visiting Lincoln.org. Our fourth quarter sponsor, Visit Lincoln.
Glad we got that in there. The way these two teams rush the ball, these quarters have been zooming by.
And there's another good rush right on cue. Tingelhoff picks up about 8.
Gets his offense right back on schedule. Going to bring up a 2nd and 4. Your entire playbook is wide open here. You're also on your side of the field. Got a lead here, 18-point lead. Look out. This is a spot where, those offensive coordinators, they like to get a little squirrely on you. Or they can, at least, with everything that's in front of them.
2nd and 4. Looks like it's back to that Wildcat. Tingelhoff takes the snap. Ferguson as his lead blocker. Scottsbluff all over it.
Well defended, well defended. They've seen that maybe one too many times, that late motion going into the Wildcat with Tingelhoff. And I thought he might be looking to pass this ball down the field, but that was defended too. Receiver all locked up.
That was Galindo with the contain. Looks like Simon and also Jet Webb there to make the tackle. Sets up a 3rd and 5.
Galindo has been put in some pretty tough spots there with that 5'6" frame, but he's handled it fairly well.
Pressure is Ferguson. Cox back and lets it rip. And he drops it in there for Reynolds. A 44-yard strike, and that may be the backbreaker.
So impressive, so impressive. You had to hurry up. It was a bang-bang play. Ferguson had to get rid of this ball here, working to his right. The rush was on, and Reynolds showing you that speed, that separation. He gets down the seam, drops it in the bucket, sails into the end zone. Another big score here for Elkhorn North. They just do so many things, Brandon. They do them so well. The rushing attack, the vertical passing. My goodness, they're going to be difficult to stop here.
35-10. Wolves are rolling here in the fourth quarter. Stay with us. You're watching high school playoff football on News Channel Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Welcome back, Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen. This is the first game of our NCN football playoff doubleheader. The majority of the state, you're getting this game currently. We're going to keep you here till this game ends. We just started the pregame coverage in Northeast Nebraska for Stanton against Arapahoe, and we will be taking you up to Stanton at the conclusion of this contest for the second game of our doubleheader. And Andy, with that big play, it makes things very difficult for Scottsbluff, not only because of the deficit and how much time is remaining, but again, this offense is predicated on running the ball, and it's not meant to come from behind and air it out.
Yeah, and a lot of things going against Scottsbluff and the Bearcats, so they're going to be forced into some passing situations. Let's see if the offense can step up. Well, here we go.
Galindo in space. He is still going. Galindo tackled near midfield. That's a almost 30-yard pickup.
And that play was blown up, let me tell you, Brandon, to the left side. That play was supposed to continue to the viewers right here. Galindo, nice misdirection coming back and then picking up a block from his quarterback down the field. Then some nifty running, cutting back across the field, gaining more and more yardage.
28-yard gain out of Boyle.
Well, and we saw this early in the third quarter. It took one big play to kind of kickstart that offense, and they had so much momentum. They rode it all the way into the end zone, scoring those 10 points in a row between the end of the second quarter and the start of the third. Let's see if they can do the same here.
So that was a 4-yard gain by Boyle, 2nd and 6. Kelly in trouble. He is being chased down, and he evaded it. That was the big Sam Thomas, the future Northern Illinois product, hunting him from behind.
I mean, that's 6'6", 265 barreling down you, and just this uncanny ability to feel that pressure and elude the rush. And a couple of times, and look at that discipline, the eye discipline, staying down the field, and he didn't cut it up until he absolutely had to. I tell you what, if you're a Scottsbluff Bearcat fan, you got to like what you're seeing in Nate Kelly, the sophomore quarterback here tonight.
Again, an 1,000-plus yard rusher this season alongside Boyle, who barrels forward for 6 more and another first.
Boy, you never see you never see an end of a run go the opposite direction with Boyle. I mean, that pile, he just moves it forward. And look at the size that he's taken on there. We talk about the size and the athleticism from Elkhorn North. Boyle, 215 pounds. He can move the pile too.
Raysig again. Tripped up for a short gain.
Yeah, just a half step away from breaking off another big run there was Riesing. But I tell you what, you can kind of feel a little bit of a rhythm start to develop for this Bearcat offense.
High snap handled by Kelly. Boyle. After about 6 black hats on him, he finally goes down.
And I mean, those big defensive linemen trying to get in on the tackle there, and the pile still moves forward there the way of Scottsbluff.
Designed run for Kelly. Lowers his shoulder, is stood up. 4th down and about 2 coming up.
I mean, Kelly kind of delivered the blow at the end of that run, but I tell you what, Brandon, there's been some collisions, heavy collisions happening throughout this game. I'm going to need an ice bath after this one just from watching.
Fourth down, Scottsbluff trying to keep its slim hopes alive. Handoff to Boyle, and he will get the first down.
That's all determination. He was stopped and stood up well behind the first down marker, withstands that blow, keeps his feet, and somehow is able to turn him back on and get upfield. And that was Sam Thomas that had him wrapped up, the big fella there in the middle of your screen, number 74.
Kelly to the air, has a wide open receiver. It's caught.
He's in.
It's a touchdown, Scottsbluff. Braxton Burford, a 30-yard pass and catch.
And the sophomore connection continues for this Bearcat offense. And I'll tell you what, Nate Kelly did a fabulous job allowing for that play to develop. And he was looking off defenders, looking short at the last second. Little snap throw down the seam, finding his buddy tight end and Buford to the end zone.
The Bearcats refusing to go away here. 5:33 on the clock. And don't know if that was an intentional two-point conversion attempt or not, but it stopped. It remains 35-16 here in Elkhorn. Scottsbluff with the big play. We imagine an onside kick upcoming. Stay with us.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill-up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
Welcome back. Elkhorn North already lined up for the anticipated onside kick here. 5:33 to go. 19-point game.
Gonna hope for that high bounce if you're a Scottsbluff fan here. They got it. They got the high bounce.
And it's fielded and advanced there by Grant Rademacher.
Scottsbluff knew that they had to allow that thing to go 10 yards, and it was just kind of hanging there on that yard line. And the junior comes up big there, Rademacher, going ahead and just snagging it and then moving it upfield. There he is with those bright blue gloves, kind of taking it out of the clutches of a Bearcat. I tell you what, those guys are, some of them wearing those bright, blue, neon blue gloves. One of the parts of the color schemes at Elkhorn North. If I'm a receiver, I already talked about how I may have held a couple times. It makes it a little easier to see that neon blue glove on a white or a black jersey.
You just need to have a pair of gloves for every possible color of the team you could be playing.
Right.
It's a little tip from Andy himself as Tingelhoff keeps it on the Wildcat. 4-yard pickup.
I think we're going to see a heavy dose of rushing the football here from Elkhorn North, up by this margin, trying to wind this one down. And it helps that you have one of the better rushing attacks in the state as well.
And Ferguson picks up 2.
Tough yardage. That was a quarterback run all the way. Had that RPO look to it. Third and 4.
Wildcat again. Tingelhoff fakes the handoff to Ferguson. Simons wraps him up right at the 30.
I think that's enough for the first down, and a little bit of a role reversal there between running back and quarterback. He had Tingelhoff fake the handoff to his quarterback, Ferguson. It's just another thing you have to account for if you're a defensive coordinator. When you're squaring up this offensive attack from Elkhorn North, just how multiple they can be.
Hand off to the edge, and that's Alex Uchman. Achman, rather. He picks up 5.
And they're pretty good at the straightforward stuff. That was just student body left. All the big fellows just get up and move that line of scrimmage forward. That clock just continues to wind down.
Back to Achman. So clearly Scottsbluff's season is going to come to an end, but if you look at silver linings, of course, which isn't fun for Scottsbluff fans right now, but a successful year for Judd Hall and company, and it's year in and year out that the Bearcats find themselves in this position, and they have nothing to be upset about at all in what they accomplished this year.
I'm already excited to see him next year. Talking about all these sophomores, and you start with the trigger man, right? Nate Kelly and what he's been able to do. Impressive performance here tonight against one of the best defenses. Let's get that straight. One of the best defenses in the state here with Elkhorn North.
And again, and you look at their record, they had a 3-win game, or 3 wins in 3 weeks to start the season. Then they dropped 4 in a row, all against 4 playoff teams. 3 of those losses, Andy, were by either 4 points or less, 2 of them being 1-point losses. The only multiple possession loss came to Waverly, which was a 14-point defeat, and Waverly's undefeated. So those were all games that could have gone either way.
Right.
They recovered. They rounded out the regular season with 2 wins and then avenged that loss to York.
Yeah.
And talking to Coach Stanley, he said he was not excited about the fact that he had to go up against Scottsbluff here today. He knew it wasn't going to be easy.
No. And they give you such a different look with that power rushing attack and their formations. You don't see it week in and week out. You see a lot of spread offenses and pistol looks, and that's not what you get with Scottsbluff. Even though you're going to get a heavy dose of rushing the football, you still got to, buckle up your chin strap and make those stops. And credit Elkhorn North. They stood tall and made the stops, especially in that first half early on, to get that lead.
Again, you go back to that punt, that muff punt that really gave Elkhorn North another chance to punch it in and jump out 14-0. That was a tough way to start, and ultimately a hole that Scottsbluff just been unable to fully dig itself out of. As this nearly goes for a touchdown. Touchdown-saving tackle made by Hauser.
But right there, Hauser could have gave up on that play pretty easily, but he didn't. He came crashing in, made a really tough tackle. That shows you the grit, the fortitude, and the attitude I love to see in high school football. You're seeing it all on display here from Scottsbluff. And you kind of went down the trajectory of their season. Sometimes it's pretty tough to bounce back from a loss, but all those close losses, that could derail a team, a season, and that's not what happened to Scottsbluff here, finding their way to the second round of the playoffs.
That last run was by Hunter Rosenbaum, and the Wolves now are going to take this into victory formation. A couple of kneels here, and they'll be officially on their way to the semifinals for the first time in school history. And, if it's chalk, which you never want to say for sure, but Bennington takes on Norris. Bennington has not lost in 2 years and some change. They're the 2-time defending champs. If they beat Norris, it's going to be Elkhorn North Bennington round 2 in the semifinals. Bennington came out on top of that contest 14-0. Back in week 8. So the Wolves are excited about the prospect of getting the Badgers again and snapping this historic run that they are currently on.
Yeah, look at their chops. That one little blemish, a familiar foe right down the way up Highway 6 here. And, it looks like that's the matchup we're, probably going to get.
Again, a reminder, those currently with us, at the conclusion of our post-game show, we will be sending you to Northeast Nebraska for the second game of our doubleheader. That has just kicked off, 6 o'clock Central. It is Stanton hosting Arapahoe in the D1 quarterfinals. So that game is currently being aired on NCN to all of our Northeast Nebraska viewers. As soon as this game ends, you will also get to see that second game up in Northeast Nebraska. We'll see one or two more kneels here before this one's officially over.
Classy move here from Elkhorn North, not trying to punch in a late score, and cap this one off. Go ahead and kneel it out. Wind the clock down. The hay's in the barn, right? You did more than enough to pull this one off. And yeah, they had some flashy plays, but I felt when they were at their best is when they were just utilizing Jet Tingelhoff and Johnny Ferguson, the quarterback, through that rushing attack.
So that's the official last snap of this one, rather. It's all a formality from here. Elkhorn North defeating Scottsbluff 35-16. The Wolves are going to the semifinals for the first time in program history. Stay with us here on News Channel Nebraska. Our post-game show is coming up next.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Fisher Roofing and Restoration, serving western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming since 1938. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know what we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
To sum up the past 20 years in one word, exceptional. It's one of our core values. But our people have been truly exceptional. Our customer support has been exceptional. In 20 years, where will Allo be? When we started, we were just a business fiber company. Then the demand came from residential. Now the products of both business and residential just continue to expand. We've got to start with customers' needs and always work backwards. The customers will tell us, and our teammates will take us there.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo, high-key internet for a low-key price. Want to know what games we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
It's the season. The excitement of going to sporting events, sitting in the bleachers, rooting for the neighbor kid that mowed your lawn, delivered papers, or played a few pranks in the neighborhood. The first stop, of course, though, is your local Speedy Mart convenience store. Fuel for the journey. Speedy Mart, your area store with Nebraska roots and community ties. No matter if it's a win or a loss, Speedy Mart can make you feel better before or after the game.
The air inside your home can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outside air. John Henry's priority is keeping your home safe and healthy for you and your family. Cleaning your home's air duct system is an important part of that goal. Our service professionals will clean your air ducts using top-of-the-line equipment that pulls air in reverse through the duct system, while using compressed air and agitation tools to remove unwanted particles. Once the air is discharged, it runs through 3 stages of filtration, leaving your air duct system restored and functioning cleaner than ever. Contact John Henry's today and schedule your steps to a healthier home.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By U-Save Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zellner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
It's 2023. Bad internet shouldn't be a thing. FYI, coax and satellite internet are vintage. Stop settling for lagging, buffering, and freezing. Switch to Allo Fiber and enjoy speeds up to 1 gig across multiple devices, 24/7 local customer support, no data caps. Fiber your internet with Allo. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Fisher Roofing and Restoration, serving western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming since 1938. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know what we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
And welcome back to Elkhorn High. Your final score 35-16. Let's go down to the field with Andy Klassen.
All righty, joined now by head coach Stanley. Just got to get your initial thoughts. You guys have come a long way as a program these last 4 years. Pull off a victory like this here tonight on your home field.
Really proud of the guys, man. They've been working their tails off all year, and you know, every day we talk about playing our best football at the end, and you know, I think we're making strides towards that. Okay, we want to be playing our best ball in November, and yeah, definitely proud of the way they played tonight. That's a really good football team, really well coached, pride themselves on being super physical, and I think that, you know, we kind of beat them at their own game a little bit tonight.
And you didn't shy away from the emotion on the sideline from the coaches and the players, and you reminded some seniors about 2 years ago and the journey that you guys have taken to get to this point. What does that message really entail?
Our kids are special, and these seniors are one of the most remarkable groups of young men I've ever been around. For them to go through what they went through the first 2 seasons, they endured a lot of hard times, and they never quit believing in our program. They never quit believing in each other. They just come to work every day trying to get better, and they're reaping the benefits now. So just super proud of them, super happy for them, and just proud to be associated with them.
Well, here tonight, the Bearcats gave you everything they had. Powerful rushing attack. They wouldn't go away. How are you guys able to finally kind of slam the door in the second half on them?
You know, they had to go away from their heavy personnel. That's really what they've done all year. They've shown a few spread looks here and there, but you know, we really put a lot into taking away the run and the big set, and we felt like if we were able to accomplish that, which we were, we'd be making them play with one hand tied behind their back. So it went the way we wanted to, and it's because our kids executed a high level and played their hearts out. So.
Overheard a little bit of you breaking down the huddle there. You said you had 2 dogs here tonight, Chase and Sam. Who are those guys and what they bring to the table?
Well, Jace Reynolds he's been making plays all year. Jace is only a sophomore, but I'll be honest with you, he's like having a senior. His maturity, his leadership, his ability, he's making plays on both sides of the ball, had a couple touchdowns tonight, made some big plays on the edge. And then Sam Huff, tremendous athlete, team guy, really embraced doing the dirty work this week. You know, he was a big component to us stopping their run game, and he was all over the place in this football game. Played through some pain and put the team first and kept plugging away. So really proud of those guys.
Before I let you go, I'm going to throw a third dog in there. Our player of the game, Johnny Ferguson, your quarterback. He did a lot for you here tonight.
Johnny did a great job. Johnny does a great job all the time. He's tough as nails, tremendous leader, and I think that the gains he's made in the passing game over the last few weeks has just been tremendous. We're really lucky to have him, and Johnny's a guy that just leads by example and makes plays when his team needs him to, on the ground and in the air. So,
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the playoff win.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our player of the game, Johnny Football Ferguson here. 3 total touchdowns, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. Really a balanced attack. What were you seeing out there tonight?
Well, I mean, I know we got guys on the at receivers, so I just knew if I just give them a chance that we were going to come down with a win.
A lot of times you guys get in that bunch formation, you're multiple on offense. What do you like to do more, break off a big run or a big pass?
I mean, I like running the ball. I like getting touchdowns myself, but, I mean, it feels great to throw the ball and give my 2 D1 receivers touchdowns.
You threw a dime early in the third period, kind of a backbreaker type of play. That was to Chase Reynolds midway through the third quarter. Tell me how that one all broke down.
I'm rolling out. I see him beat his guy, and I see the safety coming up, but I know that I trust Chase for everything, so if I just throw him the ball, then he's going to get it.
You have some playmakers on the perimeter, running back, receivers, but, man, it's tough to look past your offensive line. They had another stellar performance. Tell me a little bit about those guys.
Oh, my gosh. I love all of those guys, man. They just work their ass off day in, day out. And, I mean, yeah, they get it done.
You're probably going to face off against another big-time opponent next week. What's it going to take to win another game and get to Lincoln? Coach told you it's within arm's length.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's gonna take hard work. They beat us earlier in the year, but we're coming back.
Congratulations on a great game and a win here. You know, you go back 2 or 3 years ago, could you actually see the vision like Coach was talking about?
Yeah, I saw it. I knew. As a sophomore playing varsity, I just knew in a few years that it was going to happen.
Johnny, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All righty, Brandon, let's send it back up to you in the booth to wrap this one up.
Thank you, Andy, and congratulations to Sam Stanley, winning head coach. Appreciate his thoughts, and also congratulations to Johnny Ferguson, our Nebraska Orthopedic Center player of the game. At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they're your healing destination. Let's go right into our top plays. Your final score, 35-16. Top plays are brought to you by Currency, which makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Class B quarterfinals in Elkhorn, Nebraska. It is Scottsbluff, the 13 seed, making the 455-mile trek to Elkhorn to take on the 5th-seeded Wolves, and the Wolves strike first. Jace Reynolds, a 14-yard touchdown, makes it 7-0, and then off of a Scottsbluff muffed punt, Elkhorn North capitalizes. Johnny Ferguson, the quarterback, punches it in from 1 yard out. It's 14-0. Elkhorn North heading into the second quarter, and the Wolves continue to roll. Wildcat, Jet Tinglehoff, trots in from 2 yards out. 21-0. The Wolves are running away with things, but Scottsbluff was able to take advantage of a fumble in the second quarter and get 3 points on the board going into halftime, courtesy of Talon McDonald. That was a 29-yarder. And then the Scottsbluff defense stops Elkhorn North on their first drive of the second half, and they take it down and score. Nate Kelly, a 2-yard punch-in. 10 straight points for the Bearcats. It's 21-10, but the Wolves quickly reassert themselves. Ferguson finding his big D1 target, Chase Lofton, for a 26-yard strike, makes it 28-10. Elkhorn North heading to the fourth, and Ferguson showing off his arm, dropping it on a platter there for Reynolds. 44 yards. It's 35-10. The Wolves are rolling, but credit Scottsbluff. They would not go away. The sophomore Nate Kelly not giving up, throws it in there. Touchdown pass to Braxton Burford for a 30-yard score. It wouldn't be enough for the comeback. Scottsbluff's season comes to an end. Elkhorn North wins 35-16 and awaits the winner of Bennington Norris next Friday in the Class B semifinals. The first time in program history Elkhorn North has advanced to the semis. Well, that will do it for our coverage here in Elkhorn. A reminder that this was game number 1 of our high school football playoff doubleheader, and so we don't want to make the rest of the state wait any further. We're going to send you straight to Stanton. D1 quarterfinal playoffs. Stanton is hosting Arapahoe. That game got started 20 minutes ago. Eric McKay and Lou Siefker are on the call, so we'll wrap it up here from Elkhorn. Thank you to our terrific crew as always. Producer Tyler Lechner and Danny Alvarado in the truck. For Andy Klassen, I'm Brandon Axelmit. We now take you to Northeast Nebraska.